In this video, we're going to go over veterans preference and reasonable accommodations. To receive veterans preference points, you must submit a DD-214 separate from your resume. If you are a disabled veteran, in order to be awarded points, you will need to submit your Disabled Veteran Civil Service Preference Letter, the SF-15, along with your DD-214. You will not receive points if you simply state your service information in your resume. If you are requesting veterans preference, please describe in your cover letter any transferable skills obtained during your military service and how they relate to each of the required minimum qualifications. Attach your DD-214 and your Disabled Veteran Civil Service Preference Letter if applicable, as well as checking the box identifying yourself as a veteran. Please attach veterans documents as a separate file attachment to each recruitment to which you apply. Reasonable accommodation. If you have a disability, are pregnant or nursing, and/or observing a religious practice, you can request an accommodation. You can request an accommodation if needed during the job application process. Take note, the city uses the American with Disabilities Act, ADA, definition of disability. Disability examples include being deaf or hard of hearing, being blind or having low vision, having learning disabilities such as dyslexia or ADHD, or having diabetes or cancer. Some examples of accommodations include scheduled breaks during an exam or demo to lactate, take medication, or observe a religious practice such as prayer. Providing interview or exam materials in alternative formats such as large font or braille, and sign language interpretation or captions during an interview. There are two ways to request an accommodation. Number 1, contact the recruiter listed at the end of the job posting you're applying for, or when you submit your online application, answer yes or I'm not sure to question number 10. Reasonable accommodations in the agency-wide questions section. Either way, a human resources business partner from the City of Portland will be notified of your accommodation request. The human resources business partner will contact you as soon as possible after they have received your request. Usually, they will email you first, and if they can't reach you, then they will call the phone number you have listed in your application. Once they reach you, they will provide instructions for the next steps based on what you share about your access needs. When you submit your application online, you will notice that there is a section called Agency-Wide Questions that appears at the end. It will ask you some demographic questions about your sex, race, ethnicity, veteran status, and disability status. Demographic data helps the city to keep track of whether it is doing a good job at recruiting diverse applicants. Some of the demographic information is required, such as race and ethnicity. However, it is important to know that the disability question is optional. You can skip that question if you want to. If you self-identify as a person with a disability, it is also important to know that your disability status is not automatically shared with the hiring manager. The only way a hiring manager would know if you have a disability is A, if you tell them in a resume, cover letter, or interview, or B, if you ask for an ADA accommodation for an interview, demo, or exam. Even then, the hiring manager will not know that you have asked for an ADA accommodation unless you have already been selected for an interview, demo, or exam.